Does a perfume smell better if it's presented in a nice bottle and nice packaging? The answer is yes. All right, let me break this down. And when I make this argument, I'm obviously talking about the general perception of a fragrance. So it may not be your personal experience, but as a general rule, yes, presentation does affect people's appreciation of a scent. And I sort of went down this rabbit hole after seeing a content creator here on TikTok that has like thousands of bottles. I was seeing a pattern where this content creator was generally reacting well to any fragrance that was well presented or that had a really nice bottle design. It became very, very obvious that there was a positive bias for those fragrances. But that's actually a very valid predisposition and reaction, and I'll explain why through different researches that I've come across. Once upon a time, I studied and majored in psychology, and I was remembering a research that was done, and this was in the 70s, where they had taken steaks with a blue dye. So they put a little bit of dye on the steaks to give them like this bluish tint, made them a little bit gray, and they also put a green tint on fries. And what they did with two different groups is that they changed the lighting. On one side, they had lower lighting, so they couldn't really perceive the colors, and the food was well received. On the other end, the ones that had more lighting and could see the actual color of the food, they didn't react well to it at all. In fact, they had lost their appetite. So the conclusion of the study is that expectation actually shapes people's appreciation. So in this case, the actual color affected dramatically the perceived flavor and freshness. Another study conducted in Oxford in 2012 served different foods on either white plates or colored plates, and people enjoyed food that was presented on white plates more. They thought it tasted better. There was even another study that kind of evaluated the shapes of the plates, and apparently round plates made things taste sweeter. So these are all studies that were conducted with food, but some studies were done directly on scent. One was trying to establish the connection between the color of the product and the expected scent. So if the color and the scent aligned, example, pink with a more sugary scent, people enjoyed it more. In 2013, there was another study about packaging and expectations. What they did was present perfumes it was the same perfume that was in two different bottles. One was luxury and the other one was not. And people just enjoyed the one that was presented in a more luxurious bottle. In 2001, there was also a study on pricing and fragrance. So if the fragrance was said to be more expensive, people perceived it as smelling better. And another study in 2015 established a correlation between everything else, the design, the atomizer, and the perception of the actual scent. So to all those who say that it's just about what is in the bottle, it's actually way, way, way more than that. Because we actually start tasting and smelling way before with our eyes and ears.